Special thanks to these companies for being long-term partners of this channel. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Zach, and here we talk about overlanding and gear, builds, DIY, and all sorts of stuff related to modifying your vehicle and getting out there and adventuring in the outdoors. If I was able to see you at Overland Expo West, or you were able to see my rig in the Diodynamics booth, thanks for swinging by. Diodynamics, thank you so much for being a supporter of the channel. I had an absolute blast at Overland Expo. Now, if you've been watching my channel, you probably recently watched my video where I built my own roof rack for the 4Runner. So the awesome thing is you can go and buy aluminum extrusions off the shelf super easily. And that's what the bulk of roof racks on the market are made of these days anyways. Definitely recommend you go check out that video. I'll have it linked up in the top somewhere. And I kind of just talk through some of the awesome racks out on the market right now, and depending upon what your need is and what kind of rack you might need. I'm a huge fan of Sherpa racks. I think if I ever go back to a normal style roof rack, that's probably the kind of roof rack I'll run because they're just the strongest rack out there on the market that I've been able to find. And so the current rack that I built is actually just out of parts from my rooftop tent, and while I finish working on fabric for my rooftop tent, in the meantime, I've got a roof rack that is able to hold my awning and my actiontrax and my big light bar and all that stuff. And so it's super handy to have all that stuff along when I'm out exploring or just, camping or doing whatever I'm doing. It's just nice to have that stuff along. I own it, so might as well have it on the rig rather than just sitting in my garage. Because most of you out there have the classic aluminum extrusion rack, similar to Up Top or Prinsu or any of those, I'm going to be talking about an approach to how you can mount your MaxTrax for super cheap. So all of us have seen these brackets on the market. I'll throw some little screenshots up of super expensive ways that they adapt those extrusions to mount your actiontrax on your roof. And what I'm going to show you today is a simple little bracket you can buy off of T-Nuts or 80/20 or probably even some other places. Maybe I can find one on Amazon. And all it does is, this is not the bracket, this is a 90-degree bracket, but I'm just going to show it for an example. Instead of this having two holes, it's just a 1x2 plate where there's one hole here, and then one end is curved and there's another hole. And that curved side is what we're going to use to put the standard MaxTrax or actiontrax pins through that hole. So I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to do the install on my vehicle, and I'm going to show you everything that I did to install these pins. So it's not going to be too hard. It's a super easy install. If you have a drill, that's probably all you're going to need, a drill and an Allen key. So let's jump right in. I'm going to hop on the computer, just show you a couple of these parts if you want to go purchase them yourself, and then we'll jump out to the rig and I'll get these installed. Before I forget and we jump on the computer, I just want to show you a couple things. So this company right here, it's called Black Dog Traders. I've followed their Instagram account for a little while, but they make some awesome like vintage style merch. So if we kind of bring that in a little bit, Black Dog Traders, and then I think it says what, Land Cruisers and vintage 4x4s. They're out of Dallas, Texas, and they sell some super cool gear. So this shirt right here, also one of theirs. I believe this one, does this have the dog on the back? There's another one that has an 80 series Land Cruiser that they also sent me. That one I really like. And then they also have these cool vintage hats. So they've got these like old style Toyota logos on them. I really like these. I was sporting one of these when I was at Expo. Super cool. I just like the look of them. They're pretty vintage, and they sell a lot of Land Cruisers too. So if you're trying to find like a dealership that sells Land Cruisers, they've got some. So go check them out. I'll have it linked down below because I just like their merch. I think it's really sweet. And if you're looking for a modified Land Cruiser, there's a pretty good chance they might have one on their lot that you could buy from them. So that being said, let's jump right over to the computer. Let me show you some of these parts.
So if we go to the T-Nuts website here, you can definitely find these at multiple websites. You don't necessarily need to use T-Nuts. I've just found that their quality is good enough and their prices are really good, so this is what I use. If you go to their main website, you can find this page just by going to corner brackets. 10 series is if you have a 1" by 2" extrusion, so this is what most people are going to need. But 15 series is 1.5" extrusions. I don't know why they're named this way, but that's just how they're named. And so right now I'm on the 15 series page. And if we scroll down, I think it might be on page 2, we can find these little brackets. I don't know why they're called corner brackets, but but that's where they are. So if we go here, here's the one that I was showing you. So it's only $5 per piece. So all you're going to need is 4 of these, and then you can buy mounting hardware to add on to it. If you want to use spring nuts, you'll have to buy those separately, on a different page. Just make sure to buy the right size, but this will come with some of the stainless hardware and stuff like that. So this is what you would buy if you were going with a 1.5-inch extrusion, which I guess is not super applicable to a lot of you. So if we go to the 10 series page, it's roughly the same exact situation. Go to page 2, and here's the piece. Funny enough, they're actually the same price whether you get 10 series or 15 series, but we've got 10 series here, and then similarly you can add the hardware. So for about 20 bucks you can buy these little parts, and I think they charge a little bit of shipping, but they're so small that really the shipping's not too bad. And there you go. Saves yourself a lot of money on the bracket for mounting up these pins.
Hey everybody, so I'm out here for Overland Expo Mountain West, and just got out here a little bit early, and we're wanting to check out some of the trails out here. And I'm not from the Fort Collins area, and so I don't know it super well, but that's why I pulled up Onyx Off-Road. I'm able to just quick hop onto their app and look around. So you can see here, this is my blue dot. I'm already past Horsetooth Reservoir, and we're just going to map to one of these trails. So if you click on these trails, you can see this. I added this little green dot here on my screen, so we can tap on the screen here, and then we can click navigate to, and it's going to allow me to open this in Apple Maps or Google Maps, which is super handy. So right now I've actually already got it opened in Google Maps, and we're just heading out there. We're going to go check it out. Cool thing too is this trail is highlighted blue, so we've got some trail guide data on it. I looked at some of the photos. It doesn't look too technical. Not trying to get any sort of trail damage the day before the expo. So we're gonna go check it out. And thanks to Onyx Off-Road for supporting the channel. I love using their app to go find trails. So ever since I got these actiontrax, and the same thing works for MaxTrax, I've been trying to figure out a good way to mount them, and there's a lot of expensive options, not very many cheap options. So I figured something out, and it's pretty slick. So actiontrax and MaxTrax both use this pin that's designed for MaxTrax, and we're going to be utilizing that on the roof rack. So let's jump out to the roof rack. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So these are the fancy pins. You can see the shape. They slide through that hole, and then this top portion will turn, and they're just, it's hard to do with one hand. But a lot of companies sell like an adapter bracket for your roof rack. Well, I'm here to show you kind of a simple way where you can just use these with these little teeny brackets. This is a larger crossbar than those typically used, but this is technically a 1.5-inch extrusion profile, so it's 1.5 by 4.5. Most are 1 inch by 2 inch, and I'll show you which part number would be for this piece here. But all you do is you buy some hardware for mounting to your roof rack crossbar, and you've got this little piece with the hole on it, and then it takes a 3/8 inch drill bit, and you drill it out, and then you can twist these in. These I might need to just egg out a little bit, but the size of the bolt is a 3/8 inch. So we have this piece here, we have another one on this side, and then you space out 2 crossbars to be the right separation. So that's all we did. You can buy these pins in a pack of 4 for about 60 bucks. And then we can mount the MaxTrax up here, no problem. And so, yeah, all you do is buy these, a couple of these cheap little aluminum brackets. We can drill them out, and they're aluminum, so you really shouldn't have any problem with rusting. And then MaxTrax should be good to go. All right, so I got the pins all mounted up here. Takes a little while since these shafts are kind of long. Maybe you could cut these off with an angle grinder or something, but I just left them. And then we orient them backwards since these are the back pins. Wanted to just show you, this is a 1 inch by 2 inch extrusion profile, and this is a 1.5 by 3. No, sorry, this is a 1.5 by 4.5 inch extrusion profile. So almost double the size. This one's really beefy. So we've got both pins here. Now I'm just gonna go grab the actiontrax, and we'll toss them up on here.
So I've got it sitting here on the roof rack and everything fits good. So pretty happy with that. If you got any questions, feel free to leave them below.
So that's going to be a wrap for this video. Thank you so much for watching. This one wasn't going to be too complex. I'll have another video coming out pretty shortly here, but I just wanted to make a quick video on this because some of you out there that just want to mount your traction boards up onto your, standard aluminum extrusion roof rack made by Prinsu or Up Top, or even the Sherpa one uses some of the same stuff. You can, easily jump over to this website, buy a couple of those parts, and put these pins on there without having to spend extra money where you don't really need to. So hopefully that was helpful. If it was helpful for you, or you like what I'm doing with the channel, consider subscribing. Give this video a like if it brought you any sort of value. And like always, I appreciate the support. We just crossed 14,000 not too long ago. Hopefully we'll hit 15,000 in no time, and maybe we'll be set up to do another giveaway or something. So thank you so much for the support. I'll catch you all in the next video.